visitors Florida last weekend. So they came over and sat with us in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you didn't. I noticed you only had one. No, I don't think it was here.
Good evening, and welcome to the October 15th Board of Mayor and Alderman Business Meeting. We will have our pledge led by Chief Phillips, followed by invocation by Alderman Morris Baker. Let's all stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Great Heavenly Father, we come before you tonight with hearts full of gratitude. We thank you for being a God who is always with us, never leaving us or forsaking us. Your grace has brought us safely thus far, and we trust your grace will lead us onward, Lord. Tonight we lift up our neighbors who have experienced the devastation of Hurricane Helene. We know that your grace is ever present in all situations, and we ask that each person affected feel your comfort tonight and peace, Lord, in a tangible way during the difficult times. Father, give us hearts full of thankfulness. Give us hearts that are ever seeking ways to serve and make things better. Help us to be mindful of the needs of others, especially those who may be different from us. May we see all people as the work of your hands, deserving love, compassion, and respect. Grant us, we pray, the discernment to clearly know right from wrong. Let our words and actions be guided by this truth, as well as by the laws of the land. We ask for your protections, blessing, and wisdom for our city manager and the outstanding employees who serve our city faithfully. Father, I also pray for me and my fellow council members that we may lead with integrity, wisdom, and a deep sense of responsibility, seeking always the good for our fellow citizens. Be with us tonight, Lord, and may we give you thanks in both good times and bad. It's in the name of my Savior, Jesus Christ, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Let's be seated. Madam Recorder, please have a roll call.
Mayor Montgomery,
Here.
Vice Mayor Duncan,
Here.
Alderman Baker,
Here.
Alderman Cooper,
Here.
Alderman George,
Here.
Alderman Mays,
Present.
Alderman Phillips.
Here. Thank you. All 7 board members are here and accounted for. Mr. City Manager.
All right, we have one recognition on the agenda tonight, and it is a very special one. I'll ask Alderman George to come to the podium, and if you all would please join her up here, please.
All my friends, all my people come up. Come on, Megan, you too. So, as you all know, one of my very favorite commissions that I serve on in the entire world is the Bays Mountain Commission, and I love it. And in doing it, I knew Woody from before because Woody was a biker with my ex-stepbrother-in-law, so we'll put it that way, and so they knew each other for a long time. And so I knew Woody over the years, and anytime the city did something that Woody had an opinion on that he didn't understand why we made the decision we made, basically because in his mind it didn't make sense, and I won't use the word stupid, then he would call and he would say, I want the back history on this, and we would have a great conversation. And I think it provided him at least some of the knowledge on why we made a decision we made. And then I got to serve with him on Bays Mountain. And it is, you know, we all serve on boards, and it's wonderful to have somebody on a board that is passionate. And it's wonderful to have somebody on a board that speaks their mind. And it's wonderful to have somebody that's passionate, speaks their mind, and is also educated and knows what they're talking about. And you normally don't find those things in a board member. I mean, you get one or the other, but you don't always get all of them. And usually the person that speaks up the most doesn't have the most knowledge. And we were very fortunate to have Woody. And when it came to the legacy in the 50th year, Woody had some ideas, and he felt very strongly about some of them, and one was a legacy trail. And you know, the other benefit about Woody is when he believed in something, not only did he give it his heart and his soul and his time and his knowledge, he put his money into it. And he really stood behind what he believed in. And I'm going to say he was a little bit stubborn, and he wanted what he wanted. I don't think there's anybody that will ever argue that point, and I loved him for it because we had some wonderful conversations. And we got to go on some wonderful field trips. And it was, as I said, it was really a joy to spend time with him and he made this legacy trail happen. And, you know, he named it Moonlight Delight. Moonshine Delight. Yeah, Moonshiner's Delight, I'll get it right. And, you know, it is a legacy trail, and I never thought it would be his legacy. But it is his trail. And smart people made the decision to make sure he was honored, because this wouldn't have happened without him. And he believed so much in the mountain, and he contributed so much. And he's a great guy, and I know how much you love him, and we will all miss him. And I want to have Russ or Megan come up, or Jim say something also, but I get to present. This is yours forever now. Oh, thank goodness. So you all want to come up and say anything? Russ, you want to say anything more about this, what this trail
I just
is?
echo all the comments that Colette made about Woody. He was a great commissioner and had great passion for the park. I've shared with people that I've never had someone who I called to serve on any committee, anytime, anywhere, who answered yes as enthusiastically as Woody did when I first invited him to serve. But I just want to thank Jim Phillips, who's here. Jim called me and said, hey, I've got an idea. I'd like to float this and see if it's even possible. So the germ of the idea came from Dr. Jim Phillips, who is a friend of Woody. So I want to publicly thank Jim for bringing that idea to us. And it was wholeheartedly endorsed by the Bays Mountain Commission. Yeah, sure,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, come say something.
Yeah. The only other thing I'd like to add is that if I welcome you to come, those who may not ride bikes, if you want to go see Woody's Trail and go, you can hike up the fire tower. And on the right where it crosses, in not too long, just a little while here, we're going to have a new bench up there in Woody's honor as well. So I invite you to go up there and have a sit, because Woody, I knew what he wanted, but I want to make sure I knew what he wanted. So I went up
And he
there,
will tell you.
and I went up there and FaceTimed. I FaceTimed him on the. Went up FaceTime and was walking. Say, welcome to join me, but he wasn't feeling up to it at the time. But I showed him exactly. This is where we're thinking. I talked to Steve, and he said, "This is where we're thinking. This is exactly it." Yep. He said, I want to push it back on the right there where it's a little bit shallow. So I invite you to go up there and enjoy that bench. Hopefully it'll be up there soon.
When the trail was announced and dedicated the first go-around for the 50th anniversary, we had a lot of individuals enthusiastic about the trail. Not only mountain bikers, but we also had hikers as well, because this is the first linear trail that we've had at the park in a very, very long time. And it's over, it's about 4.1 miles in length from start to end. It allows individuals to get from the eastern side of the park to the western side of the park. And that particular trail has seen quite a bit of traffic. Lakeside trails are popular trail. Fire Tower Trails, another popular trail. Moonshiners is a very quick third. A lot of our mountain bikers enjoy it. It is a climb going out, as you know. Coming back, it is a lot of fun, because you can pick up some speed in some areas. Not that I know or anything like that, but at the same time, it is very enjoyable. A lot of our mountain bikers enjoy it, and not only is the community able to enjoy it, but so many people within other states are able to come out and enjoy it, and they have a great time on it. So Woody is not only providing an opportunity for the community, but he's for the region and also for the world as well.
Do you want to say anything?
Just a quick, Jim had talked with my husband about this when he knew he really didn't have long, and I'm very grateful that he knew that this was going to happen, because it meant so much to him. He loved that park. It kept us sane during COVID, and we used it. Not many people know he didn't see very well because he had a lot of detached episodes of detached retina, but he felt so comfortable up there and knew the trails so well, he could go and ride it and have a wonderful time. So I thank you, I thank the park, and it's always going to be a special place for me.
We thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. At this time, this is our time for public comment. Citizens may speak on any agenda item or any issue item that's on their mind. When you come to the podium, we ask that you state your name, your address, sign the register that's provided, and we encourage you to keep your comments non-personal in nature, and they should be limited to 5 minutes. We have a total of 30 minutes set aside for this section. Anyone coming forth? Seeing none, thank you very much. Mr. City Manager.
All right, we have no appointments, so we'll move into the approval of minutes first from the September 30th, 2024 work session, and then the business meeting on October 1st, 2024. We'd ask that you approve these minutes as submitted, please.
You have the minutes before you, and I'm sure you've read them prior to tonight. I may have a motion for approval.
So moved.
Been moved by Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Mays. Any questions? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. The minutes are adopted. Thank you. Mr. City Manager.
All right, your first item for consideration is a budget ordinance to appropriate $13,703.42 from the U.S. DOJ Office of Justice Programs Fiscal 24 Bulletproof Vest Partnership Funding. This is a grant that we've been fortunate to receive in the past. Once again, we've been able to receive this in the amount of a little over $13,000. One bulletproof vest is about $650, so you can look at that with including the match, roughly $18,000 available, $19,000 available. What we'll be able to purchase with those, they come in very helpful, good way to, these grants come in very helpful and a good way to supplement our budget. So we'd ask that you approve the ordinance establishing this grant funding, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, would you please publish?
An ordinance to amend the General Project Special Revenue Fund budget by appropriating grant funds received from the U.S. Department of Justice for the year ending June 30, 2025, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
You have the ordinance. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Been approval by Alderman George. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Phillips. Any discussion?
One question, and I know I've asked this and been told, and it's just left me. How long do bulletproof vests last? 5 years? And you don't try the 6th year to see if they work? I'm good. I just forgot.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay, all in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion passed, 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution to accept a private monetary donation for the Kingsport Police Department K-9 program and an ordinance to appropriate the funds. Once again, we are very honored to accept funds in the amount of $4,000 from Mr. Frederick Stewart Baggett, who has been a huge supporter of our K-9 program, huge supporter of the Kingsport Police Department. We're very thankful that he has chosen once again to make a donation. K-9 program is a very expensive program. The purchase and training of a dog and the ongoing care and maintenance that is required, as well as training. And so this will go into a line item that we have established already for this program. And so we'd ask that you approve of the resolution and adopt the ordinance on first reading.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution accepting a monetary donation of $4,000 to the Kingsport Police Department to be utilized to assist in the cost of maintaining department K-9 units.
You've heard the reading of the resolution. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
We have a motion of approval by Alderman Cooper and a second by Alderman Baker. Any discussion? I'd like to say Stuart is very faithful. I know him. He's been a very faithful donor over the years, so very good. Any other discussion? Okay. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
They got an ordinance with that, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. All right, thank you. Would you please publish the ordinance?
Yes, sir. An ordinance to amend the General Project Special Revenue Fund budget by appropriating donated funds for the year ending June 30, 2025, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Okay, we've had the reading of the ordinance. I have a motion for approval.
So moved.
Approval by Alderman George. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor Duncan. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Ordinance passed 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
All right, you have three items that are up for final adoption. The first is consideration of a budget ordinance to appropriate $54,000 from the Tennessee Highway Safety Office Fiscal 25 grant. We'd ask that you approve this ordinance on second and final reading, please.
Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend the General Project Special Revenue Fund budget by appropriating grant funds received from the Tennessee Highway Safety Office for the year ending June 30, 2025, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
You've heard the reading of the ordinance. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Mays. Any discussion? Madam Recorder, please take the roll.
Alderman Baker.
Aye.
Alderman Cooper. Vice Mayor Duncan.
Aye.
Alderman George.
Aye.
Alderman Mays.
Aye.
Alderman Phillips.
Aye.
Mayor Montgomery.
Aye. The ordinance passed 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a budget ordinance to appropriate $25,000 from the Tennessee Highway Safety Office Fiscal 25 Coordinator Grant. We'd ask that you approve this ordinance on second and final reading, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend the General Project Special Revenue Fund budget by appropriating grant funds received from the Tennessee Highway Safety Office for the year ending June 30, 2025, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
You've heard reading of the ordinance. I have a motion for approval.
So moved.
Motion approved by Alderman Phillips, or a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Baker. Any discussion? Madam Recorder, please take the roll.
Alderman Baker.
Aye.
Alderman Cooper. Vice Mayor Duncan.
Aye.
Alderman George.
Aye.
Alderman Mays.
Aye.
Alderman Phillips.
Aye.
Mayor Montgomery.
Aye. Ordinance passed 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a budget ordinance for various funds in fiscal 25. Again, this is hitting across the general fund as well as our enterprise funds. Some of the items you've already taken action on, but it sets up the appropriate funding. We'd ask that you approve this budget ordinance on second and final reading, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend various fund budgets for the year ending June 30, 2025, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Okay, you've heard the reading of the ordinance. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Approval by Alderman George, or second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Phillips. Any discussion? This requires a roll call. Madam Recorder, please take the roll.
Alderman Baker.
Aye.
Alderman Cooper. Vice Mayor Duncan.
Aye.
Alderman George.
Aye.
Alderman Mays.
Aye.
Alderman Phillips.
Aye.
Mayor Montgomery.
Aye. The ordinance passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
All right, now moving into other business. First item is consideration of a resolution to purchase one 2025 auto car with New Way Arm refuse truck utilizing the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Agreement. Give you a picture of what we're getting here. This will be for our sanitation crews. One of the things we talk to you all often about is the impact that inflation has on our operating budget. Nowhere else have we seen a greater impact that has really kind of sustained since the pandemic has been in the fleet area. I think in some cases we've seen in our, whether it's our brush grabber or sanitation trucks, 50, 60% inflation from what we were buying off of several years ago. So this is pretty significant impact. It is, has an impact on our budgets as we move through this. And again, an item we have been talking to you about in the past, but we are fortunate in many ways to have our fleet fund and ability to depreciate those vehicles to set ourselves up for the purchase of new. Obviously, we're depreciating a much lower price than what we are purchasing them at now, but it is helpful. This has got an estimated delivery roughly a year from once the PO is received. Again, it's a replacement vehicle, so we'd ask that you approve the resolution authorizing us to move forward with this purchase.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a purchase order to municipal equipment for the purchase of one 2025 auto car with New Way Arm refuse truck through Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Agreement number 110223-NWY.
You've heard the reading of the resolution. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion approved by Alderman Phillips, or second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Baker. Any discussion? You said 50%,
Yeah, anywhere from
Escalation.
50 to 60%.
and it seems like we're getting to do one of these every so often now.
Yeah, you know,
Every other week.
Every other week. But you know, one thing that we talked about, the escalation, that we've been able to maintain garbage fees and everything at a lower rate. So
Yeah.
that's significant.
yeah, it is, and I talked to Ryan McReynolds, our deputy city manager, about this the other day, and one of the things, especially with our garbage trucks, we really need to look to shorten the amount of the time that we have those before we, buy new. Right now, we've kind of pushed that out, and this is a vehicle that's on the road. A lot of stops, starts, 5 days a week, long hours, and this vehicle takes on a lot of wear and tear. So it is, to your point, we've been able to maintain that fee, even though we are continuing to see rising costs in that area.
Chris, we talked the other day, it looks like about 125,000 miles is when we're beginning to replace the vehicles, at least get the bid. But like this says, you're 9 to 12 months out.
Right.
So you're probably 150,000 miles at a
Yes.
replacement.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think that's important for citizens to know.
Yep.
Are we, when we're looking at these, and we always talk about the time frame to receive them, and like this is 9 to 12 months. Is that happening? Have we had any with the last hurricane and some of the things we've gone through? Are we, when we approve it here, since I actually don't drive any of these or know for real, are we getting them in about the time that we expect to?
Thus far, we have.
Okay.
Anytime you have an event such as what we've seen here, as well as what we've seen in Florida, twice now in Florida, we begin to ask questions of our suppliers to make sure that we're going to still be able to receive whatever it is we are buying in a timely manner. You know, several years ago, we were having a lot of conversations due to rail strikes about the opportunity to receive chemicals in here. So I do applaud our staff. They do keep their finger on the pulse of those things to ensure fluid operations continue in all aspects, not something that is being derailed by events outside of our control.
Chris, you probably plan for worst-case scenario, though. 12 months is worst case. You hope to get it sooner than that.
We do, we do, and I will tell you, we've made a lot of adjustments within fleet to speed up the amount of time.
Yeah.
Using these cooperative bids has really taken several weeks, if not months, out of that process. So really just by doing so, we're piggybacking on other bids, and they've done all that legwork. So that does help reduce that, and it also gives us an idea of who is going to, through these programs, who's got vehicles, who's getting them out quicker. That was something we saw several weeks back with transit. We were having a really hard time replacing transit vehicles. Through a cooperative bid, we're able to find vehicles down in Georgia, ready to go, sitting on a lot. We just need to get them lettered up and sent up here. So
I appreciate that management of looking at all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
On the, when this is obviously out of the enterprise fund for garbage, so the fleet for these is out of enterprise. Are there vehicles that we share between, like sanitation and general, that we divide up, or that, or?
Yeah,
and-
so the fleet fund is taking money from all the different groups. So if
Okay.
you are in utilities, your budget is being depreciated for depreciation and maintenance of those vehicles. That goes into the fleet fund
Right.
for those specific vehicles, and then you're able to purchase off of that. In terms of sharing vehicles, I think in certain situations you may see that, but typically vehicles assigned to general fund or
general
vehicles, general fund, enterprise, so forth and so on.
But where we subsidize the sanitation,
Yes.
we are subsidizing the fleet on this.
Correct. You know,
Okay.
your sanitation fee is only paying for a portion
A
of
portion
that.
of it.
So we do have to bring in additional funds to cover that.
Any other discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The resolution passes 7-0. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of resolution to purchase one mobile wireless lift system utilizing the Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Agreement. This is a lift for just under $80,000, goes into our fleet, be used in the bays there, allows us to move those around when needed, be able to lift the vehicle up, be able to do various repair and maintenance on that. So this is a new item into our fleet, very much needed. And we ask that you approve this purchase and the contract associated with it, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish the resolution.
A resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a purchase order to ARI Phoenix Incorporated for the purchase of one mobile wireless lift system through Sourcewell Cooperative Purchase Agreement number 013020-ARP.
You've heard the reading of the resolution. Have a motion for approval.
So moved.
Motion approved by Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman George. Any discussion?
What fund is this coming out of, Chris?
Comes out of the fleet fund.
Okay.
Chris, is this a replacement? This is a new piece of equipment, right?
It's new.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why I don't have a pretty picture.
Well, we do have a picture of it if you want to see the lift.
4 pallet jacks on each tire.
I know, it didn't
One on
look,
each tire.
didn't look really impressive.
96,000 pounds.
It's a picture. I need
Yeah.
it. I want to see it's a drawing.
Well,
I'll still approve it,
when it
but I
comes
like a real
in,
picture.
we'll
Take a
bring it
picture.
in and let y'all look at it.
Let's look at it.
Do like we do with the fire truck, just pull it out front.
Pull it out front.
Let's look at it.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The resolution passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
All right, next item is consideration of resolution to purchase 3 Nissan Frontier King Cab 2-wheel drive and 2 Nissan Frontier King Cab 4-wheel drive from the Tennessee State Contract number 80358. These will actually move into our Water Services Department. They will be replacing some of the vans that we currently have. Some of those vans, however, due to the mileage they have on it, and you can see that within the recommendation letter, those are actually going to be reused within our operations here. Some of our folks within IT will be receiving some of those, and so be a good opportunity to continue utilizing some vehicles that still have some low mileage on it.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the purchase of 3 Nissan Frontier King Cab 2-wheel drive and 2 Nissan Frontier King Cab 4-wheel drive from Allen J. Automotive utilizing Tennessee State Contract number 80358 and authorizing the city manager to execute a purchase order for the same.
You've heard a reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Alderman Mays. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vice Mayor Duncan. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries 7-0. The city manager.
All right, next item is consideration of a resolution authorizing an agreement with Selectron Technologies, Inc. for a master services and hosting agreement for a 5-year contracted upgrade of software. Selectron is the entity that we use for pay by phone, and this has been a program we've had in place for several years. It's a program we desire to continue as it is very much used by a lot of our customers. Again, the funding for this is covered through our water department as well as through IT. You see the savings that we have there with a 5-year contract, and it is our recommendation that we move forward with purchase of this to continue this service for our customers.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish the resolution.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Selectron Technologies Incorporated for an upgrade for the interactive voice response solution.
You've heard reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion approved by Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Phillips. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of resolution to award Piedmont Pharmaceutical Care Network the RFP and authorizing the mayor to sign a contract to implement a pilot program for weight loss management. As you all know, we have a self-funded health insurance program managed very, very well by our own city staff within HR. Also, that management is supplemented through outside consulting. One of the areas that we see a need to focus some attention on is in weight loss, as that then leads to other illnesses that could impact our workforce or their dependents. So we'd ask that you all move forward in executing this contract. This is something that we believe will be very promising for our employees, and I appreciate the work that has been done to get us to this point. We ask that you move for approval on the resolution, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish the resolution.
A resolution authorizing an agreement with Piedmont Pharmaceutical Care Network for employee weight management program and authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement for the same and all the documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of the agreement.
We heard a reading of the resolution. Have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion approved by Alderman Baker. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman George. Any discussion? Anybody want to talk about fat?
I was gonna say, I guess that this probably can't benefit us on the board. I mean, we don't get this benefit.
No, you need that.
Okay.
So I do have a couple of quick questions. I was looking at the slides, so how are employees identified through the health plan or through employee screenings? And is it pre-diabetic?
I'm gonna ask Tyra to come up here and answer those questions, Alderman Mays.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. It is a pre-diabetic program, so we do have a diabetes management program. And so our target group would be, all employees can participate, but the real target group would be those with anyone's wanting to change their behavior, and then after a demonstrated period of time, if they have a BMI over 40 and they have demonstrated they can change their behavior, there would be an option for weight loss shots. And so those are we're really striving for the behavioral change and not just a shot to help you lose weight.
So is the program voluntary?
It is voluntary, yes, 100% voluntary.
So are participants self-identified as a pre-diabetic then, I guess?
They are through our HRA.
Okay.
Yeah, our annual HRA. They will also, anyone interested in the program will also go through a secondary HR or health risk assessment, and they would be given some results. So throughout the program, it would be managed. I think it does come with a scale, and so there's like monthly check-ins and targets and goals that they would need to meet, and all of their risk numbers. So pre-diabetic, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, anything like that would be identified.
Tyra, is there incentives if folks do this and they meet certain benchmarks, their health premium goes down, or?
They live longer and they're happier.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, so right now there is not, so again, it's just a pilot program. We're trying to get a feel for how well this would go over with our population. We know based off of last year's HRA, we have 55% that's showing in the high-risk area with an additional 30%, close to 30%.
I love these programs. I remember when the city became self-insured, they offered calcium scoring. And if I'm not mistaken, there was some employees that went and had that done, and heart attacks were averted because they went and had that done. So I love these prevention and even intervention type programs to help with employee health. You have a healthier employee, you probably got a better employee.
Yeah. Our current pharmacist does not allow weight loss management shots. We have a number of employees asking for that. But again, we're wanting to change behavior and not just give you a quick pill or a quick shot to try to do that. And so this was actually an outcome of some of the requests that we're getting in HR.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I agree with Alderman Baker. I think it's a fantastic opportunity. Appreciate you trying to come up with innovative ideas to help our employees. So I would love to see some follow-up reports, nothing specific, but generally participation and maybe total, just some total numbers, nothing that could be identifiable.
Yeah,
I appreciate
absolutely.
that, sure, thank you.
So far, we've been kind of putting the feels out, and we're getting positive feedback.
Good.
The cost for the program is up to $250 per year, $250,000.
It is
But the
up to.
savings, if you can get employees engaged with this, go from diabetic to, or pre-diabetic to non-pre-diabetic. So the savings is there when we do things like this.
Long-term savings.
Yeah.
This is one of our proactive measures for longer-term savings cost.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries 7-0. The city manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution to rename the Moonshiners Delight Trail to Woody's Trail. Alderman George summarized that very well at the beginning of the meeting. We'd ask that you approve the resolution.
I've already given the.
Yeah, I know, you can't take it back.
So, yeah.
Okay, Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution approving the renaming of the Moonshiners Delight Trail to Woody's Trail at Bays Mountain Park.
We heard a reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for
So
approval?
moved.
Okay, a motion for approval by Alderman George. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Okay, do we have any discussion?
Did I understand that Woody named the Moonshiners Delight Trail too? I mean, that was,
As when they made the lead-off donation for that, he wanted to have input on the name.
so that-
And so it was a group effort to come up with something that was fitting, and there had been a moonshine still up there, rumors were. I don't officially know that, even though you, rumors. Rumors. And so he, I mean, it wouldn't have, the trail would not have happened without Woody, but so he had asked for that, and they had a committee that did that, and that's what they came up with. And I said, I think though it's more as a legacy trail, I think it's very fitting to be Woody's Trail. And that's kind of how everybody refers to it, that, not that I'm a biker, but, I maybe one day if I go on Tyra's plan and make my behavioral changes, I could be a biker and I could ride it.
Yeah, I have not been on the trail, but Dr. Reeves, for many years, led a clinic, male clinic at my church. And his time that he devoted for it, I know he saved several men's lives by having that screening. So not only did he do work there, but he did other work in the city, and we are very appreciative of what he did there as well.
We have a lot of great citizens. And he was a great guy, and said I enjoy serving on boards where you have opinionated people that are smart.
That's true. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The resolution passes 7-0. The city manager.
Next item is consideration of resolution to approve the mayor's signature for the purchase of Clear Risk, a risk management information system, by participating in the City of Fort Collins Cooperative Procurement Agreement. This is a particular piece of software for our risk management department, is one that over the last several years we've had a lot of conversations about. We talk a lot about utilizing various solutions, various technology platforms to aid us in the job that we do. As I've told you all in past budget presentations, we're talking more and more, and we're going to continue to talk more and more about the importance of technology in our workforce and the jobs that we do. This is another example of that. This is, again, a software used by our risk management department. We'd ask that you approve the resolution allowing for the purchase and then the annual maintenance purchase of this.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Clear Risk U.S. Corp. For the purchase of Clear Risk utilizing the City of Fort Collins, Colorado contract.
You've heard the reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion approved by Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Baker. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
All right, your last item is a consideration of resolution ratifying an application to the Public Entity Partners 2024-25 James L. Richardson Driver Matching Grant Program. We have had the opportunity to apply and receive grants from PEP, or Public Entity Partners, over the last several years. These grants have often been tied back into driver safety programs. Recently, we did some stuff through CDL training. This will allow us to do motor vehicle records checks for employees that are driving our vehicles. It's a very important process that we need to keep our fingers on the pulse of, and so funding from this grant, which is 100%, in the amount of $5,000, we'd ask that you approve the resolution ratifying the application.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution to approve and ratify the submission of an application for a 2024-2025 James L. Richardson Driver Grant through Public Entity Partners for the Risk Management Department, and authorizing the mayor to sign all documents necessary and proper to receive the grant.
Okay, you've heard a reading of the resolution. Have a motion for approval.
So moved.
A motion approved by Alderman George. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion?
I just want to ask a question. So the money we use here, you go and you check their past driving records?
Past and current.
Past and current. And it says it's going to cover that. If there's money left over in this grant, can it go for anything else?
We would, in most of those situations when that occurs, we've got to get approval from the entity that issued the grant. And if they were, then it would probably have to go back into something such as driver training or something along those lines.
Do we normally, when we've got these, do we spend
We spend it all.
I mean, and more than that doing it, so it just kind of applies to that general fund?
This will,
Okay.
yeah, this will just supplement our current operations.
Okay, thanks.
Any other discussion? Comments? If not, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. The resolution passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
All right, move into communications. Definitely want to keep the family of former Fire Chief Connor Caldwell in your thoughts and prayers. Chief Caldwell worked for the city of Kingsport for 36 years, 17 of which was chief. Chief Caldwell passed away the other day. Our fire department will be participating in that funeral service that's coming up later this week. But again, great individual, great citizen, served on several boards and commissions. Once he left, work with the city of Kingsport, probably most noticeably was our 911 communications board. So he will definitely be missed. Appreciate our fire department participating in that service. I know that's what he wanted, and they'll do an outstanding job. Disaster relief efforts around the region obviously continue. The work that we have done to support those has kind of come to an end, at least for now. I'm sure if we're asked to do more, we'll definitely step up and do so. But as I mentioned to you all at the last meeting, we've pretty much been in every county, every city impacted in Northeast Tennessee. Appreciate the work that has been done by all these different groups, and we intend to thank them at an upcoming board meeting for the time and effort that they put into it. Great thing about the city of Kingsport, reflected within our city employees, that Kingsport spirit. As I told you all, with the opportunity to send all 800 of our employees to help, they all would have gone. There's no doubt in my mind that desire to help was there, and so we appreciate the work that they've done, how they have been good ambassadors for the city of Kingsport, but more importantly, they all knew it was the right thing to do. That's why they did it. Last thing I have is yesterday at our work session, we kicked off the work towards our new strategic plan. Today, your leadership team spent the better part of the day working with our consulting firm, going through a host of exercises associated with the strategic plan. We look forward to rolling that out to you all as we move into next month and having more conversations about it. Exciting. I think all the leadership team, when they left, felt like they were working on something that was going to have a generational impact, an opportunity to work on a strategic plan from a very grassroots level, allowing our organization, from all aspects of our organization, to have input in it, something that I personally believe is critical in any kind of success any entity, public or private, would have in the development and implementation of a strong strategic plan. So that is moving forward, and we appreciate the time that you guys will be giving us in the weeks ahead as we work on that. With that, Mayor, that's all I have.
Okay, Alderman Mays.
Thank you, Mayor. Couple of things. I want to, total agreement with Chris, his comments about Chief Caldwell. I was honored to get to work with Chief, and Chief Caldwell truly loved the city of Kingsport, dedicated his career life to the city. And in all the years I've known him, I've never heard anybody say anything untoward about Chief Caldwell. And a man of integrity, and a man that led the fire department to what it is today, and a wonderful man for sure, and will be greatly missed. Also, I'd like to thank Assistant City Manager Ryan Reynolds during my orientation period, who took me around for 2 days, and I had the pleasure of meeting several department heads in the city. And I will say I thoroughly enjoyed all of my visits, and learned a great deal. And at the end of it, I really felt encouraged from seeing the city staff, meeting city employees, seeing the work they do. Just really overwhelmed with how proud I am of the city of Kingsport. You have a great team. And really, all of them were very complimentary and sincerely about the board, and the board appreciated the board's support. And so that was a very, very humbling experience. Thank you very much.
Alderman Cooper.
I want to say something about Chief Caldwell, too. When, in 1993, we moved next door to him when my youngest daughter was 3. And he helped me. She decided all of a sudden that he was her grandfather, so he helped me keep Abby corralled. So he became a good friend, and later when they moved, we still stayed in touch. So he was just a great man. There's a lot going on in our downtown in the next couple of weeks as the Halloween season starts. I think the 19th is called Witches Night Out. You can check the Downtown Kingsport Association website to see about that event. And also on the 26th is the Trick or Treat on the Street. And I registered today for friends that need to participate, and they said to plan for 3,000 children. So, and I was there last year, and that that was probably about what we saw. So those are the 2 things coming up the next 2 weekends. And also Lamplight Theater has Fearmonger, a show. So if you are downtown, Trick or Treat on the Street, you can go to Lamplight and visit Lamplight. And then also with the devastation in our area, I said it's, we just need to keep that forefront in our minds, because it's not, you think about it and you help, and then you have to realize that this is a marathon. These individuals that have been impacted by this flood are going to take years to recover. So as the Thanksgiving holiday season comes around, we need to remember those are some really good funds to support, or to try to support the people that are going to be dealing with some of these losses for years.
And they still have specific needs on what they do
Yes.
need right now. A
Right
lot
now,
of
they're
it is
asking for dehumidifiers.
dehumidifiers and some little grills to cook on, and supplies like cleaning supplies and diapers. I think they really don't want clothes, because a lot of them don't have a place to put
And
clothes right now.
yeah, and we've been up there several times in the last couple weeks, and the things they're asking for now are dehumidifiers, the cook stoves, and laundry detergent pods, because they said they're bringing the trucks in to wash clothes and letting people go, and so they were running short of those. So those are the 3 things that they just mentioned in the last several days.
So there's a lot of good places that you can look on the list, and also people going over there. And like Betsy said, it really is, it's something that's not going to be fixed this week.
Yeah, and we're going to
It's
go
be
once a
long time.
week, because we are still getting supplies, so we'll be going over about once a week. So if you have anything you want to send over that direction, we'll be glad to take it.
Okay, so if the entire public wants to take
Yep,
to
that's
Betsy's,
fine. That's what they've done so far.
She has a list that
We
she
have
would like.
we've taken 8 pickup trucks we went 3 times last week, so.
And cleaning supplies, cleaning gloves, diapers, that type of thing too. So we could all give out Betsy's address.
I'm fine with it.
I think we-
You keep it coming, we'll keep taking it.
We've got a lot of people dropping stuff off to Blue Ridge, and there's so many wonderful individuals. It does remind you of the kindness of the people in our region, on how many people have stepped up to help on this. And I have heard a lot of people that have been very thankful that Kingsport as a city stepped up. And I know, as you said, that if you had allowed everybody to leave and go help, they would have all left our city, not because they don't love you, but because they really did want to go help. And what the city did, and the reach out, and with the water and a lot of different things. I've heard wonderful comments of people thanking the city employees and saying how professional they were, what a great job they did in the roles they took. So I said, and I appreciate all the people that covered for them here and allowed them to go, because it is really, really good. And I know I said a lot about Base Mountain because Woody was a great person, and he really, as a board member, he was the kind of board member that you really wish, we need to always think about that when we put people on committees, is who has that passion, has that knowledge, will invest not only their time but their money because they truly believe in it, instead of just people that like to be on boards. And you know, he was one of those that always shared his opinion and felt very strong about it, but I appreciate people like that, and he was a great guy. And then just lastly, I have already had lots of people tell me that they are late to work and they're late where they're going because we're doing all this paving, and it's getting in the way of everything. And I am thrilled to death, and I hope that every single person gets in a line waiting, so people really are starting to feel, because I know a lot of this paving we've been waiting on for a very, very long time. And a lot of this is on your more major roads, where a lot of the paving we have done in the last couple of years, which was Worst Roads First, was in areas that people don't always drive on. And I think right now that Ryan wanted to mess up everybody's life, and so we're doing all the roads that to get from point A to point B, you should go at least one road that's being paved. And I'm glad we're getting that all done. And hopefully it'll all be done before we get into winter, which I think started today.
Yes.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Alderman Baker?
I want to thank the city employees, and Chris, you, for your leadership of letting employees go and assist with the disaster relief. And, you know, I think the comments back about their engagement, things of that nature, is a reflection of the organization. So thanks for that. With that, organization I lead, Goodwill, is hosting tomorrow in partnership with Eastman a winter clothing, coat, and shoe drive at Eastman Toy Read Center parking lot area. We did this a few weeks ago, and the need right now is going to be for winter clothes. And so our staff, we've agreed to help sort those, and but 100% of what's donated goes to the victims. So none of that goes back to our organization. So just want to encourage folks tomorrow from 1 to 7, just take items over, coats and winter clothes and shoes, and folks over there need that right now. So we're taking some tractor trailers and have it outfitted like a mobile store, and we're giving those clothes away. So I would encourage people to, great outpouring last time, and I expect tomorrow to be the same way. That's all I've got.
Alderman Phillips?
Not much, just want to reiterate that I feel like I always get asked, maybe it's because I have a 6-year-old, the city does not designate a Halloween day. Especially, everybody always thinks that, especially when Halloween falls on a Sunday. So go trick or treat on the 31st, whether it's a Monday or a Sunday or a Thursday like it is this year. And then Betsy mentioned all the stuff going on downtown, but before our next meeting, thank God, Election Day is on our next meeting. So the ads, the radio ads, the TV ads, the news, it all ends. So just keep that in mind, because early voting is going to start soon. So
Everybody go vote.
does it start tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Yeah. So get out and vote. You know, no matter which way you feel, it's important to go vote, no matter what. And so exercise your right and go vote. And we'll have a winner after our next BMA meeting. And then the last thing I want to mention is between our last meeting and this meeting, Dick Fortney passed away, and most everybody on this board knew Dick. And Dick and Phyllis owned Rainbow's Inn Floral for 100 years. And they were amazing people, incredible citizens. Phyllis still is just wonderful citizens of Kingsport, and always there, always, would do anything for anybody, and were always very active. in Fun Fest and many different events. And their son Wayne has a balloon, and he flies the balloons. He's at Fun Fest every year. And so it was very unexpected, and just keep their family in your thoughts and prayers. Dick will definitely be missed in Kingsport. He was a really good man, and they're a great family. That's all I got.
Okay.
He
Vice Mayor
was.
Duncan.
I'll just kind of comment on that too. I mean, he's a great guy. I've seen anybody like him. He's much like Woody. So, last Thursday, one of our officers was recognized by Branch House, and Kevin Ewing received the Mark Vance Award, and it's a prestigious award that they give out yearly, and it's for domestic violence. And so Chief Phelps was there to be able to give Officer Ewing the award, and along with Alderman Mays was there, and it was just, it's good when outside organizations always recommend or recognize our, anybody in our organization. So congratulations to him. Branch House does a wonderful job with domestic violence, and it's good that we have it in our region. And then today I was in a Keep Kingsport Beautiful meeting, and we've got some public works people in there as well. And so we were talking today about just pickup across the city with our grabber trucks. And they said on a normal day, about 22 tons of stuff, branches, limbs, whatever that may be, was picked up. And that's ramped up to about 90 tons a day right now. So this is going to be, a long-term thing, even for our city, and we wasn't hit near as hard as some of our neighbors. So, but we're working on it, and over the past few days, I've had some emails on the Greenbelt saying, well, we got, limbs down and they were cut, but they're not picked up yet. But they will get to those. And so it just takes a little bit of patience because they're hitting the neighborhoods in different areas. So, with that said, Mr. Mayor, back to you.
Thank you. I want to say thank you to Tyra and the team for the service awards luncheon that we had a week or so ago. Well done. And we recognized about 1,400 years of service that day of our employees. So very, very good. Well done. On November 1st, the State of the City will be part of the Chamber Breakfast on November 1st, so put that on your calendar. I also want to remind people that tomorrow is early voting, and so we encourage you to vote early. Also, I'd like to have a discussion sometime with this board about whether we should look at changing our day that we elect our folks. So I'd like to have that discussion at some point in time with city manager and others. Anything else for us tonight? Seeing none, this means adjourned.
That's quick,
Yep. Well, it's all right.
quick and efficient.
They've got trucks out.
That's exactly right.
He's an acquaintance.